link is not working. Okay, anyway, we will start this webinar. So thanks for joining this webinar. So today we are going to discuss about how you can manage your project by using the Oracle Primavera. Okay, so how many of you are from the project management industry? How many of you are from the project management background? Please type your answer me. Okay, great. So, okay, great. So we will start by using, we will start how you can manage your project by using the Oracle Primavera. Before starting, this webinar, I'll just give you a small introduction about myself, who am I, so that you can understand about, my background and, what I'm doing. So my name is Chirag Kumar Garg. I'm basically a professional with experience in project management training and implementation. I'm a corporate trainer for Oracle Primavera P6, Oracle Primavera P6 EPP and Microsoft project, and I have trained almost 2,500 students, professionals in the corporate. My key area include project planning, scheduling, resource management, budget, cost, analysis of project performance. Throughout my professional career, I have been involved into the Primavera sales, pre-sales, support, implementation services, and this is the few a list where I have given the trainings to the corporates, so including HMEL, KC, Accenture, GE Power, Adani, JSW, Tata, PJ Chandigarh. So these are the few corporate lists where I have given the training. These are my Oracle badge which I have earned. These are our associates. We are associated with the CAT Center. We are associated with the Synergy School of Business Skills, which is into the project management industry. We are associated with the Project Management Institute, the Microsoft project, Scrum Study. We are associated with the MSME Government of India. We are also the Oracle Gold partner, and we are the workforce development with the Oracle. So these are the services which we do provide. We are provide training on project management. We provide software also. We provide Primavera implementation support to the corporates, including how to prepare a program and the schedule, how to update the schedule, implementation services. We provide the risk analysis, delay analysis, how to monitor and control the project resource allocation, monthly progress report. These kind of services we do provide. So let's jump to the today's topic, that is project management using Oracle Primavera. Okay, since you all from the project management background, so first we need to understand, what exactly called as the project management. Okay, we need to understand these things. So even before going into the project management, I want to understand from you guys, what is your understanding on the project? Okay, how will you define what is called as the project? So can you answer me in the chat box, according to you, what is called as the project? Since you are all doing the projects, so according to you, what is called as the project? Can you type your answer in the chat box? What is the project? Okay. Any other guys? What is called as the project? Okay. Rise, Mr. Jain. Okay, so project is basically a temporary endeavor undertaken to create a unique product, services, and the result. Okay, it's basically a set of activity by which we need to, create a unique product, services, or the result. Every project should have a temporary duration. Should have a temporary duration means it should have a fixed start date and fixed finish date. If it's not have fixed start date, finish date, it is not called as the project. Okay, duration could be anything, 1 month, 1 year, 10 year, could be anything, but every project should have a fixed duration. Then only we will call as the project. So it is having two characteristics. It should be temporary. It should have some unique product and some unique services or the result. Now, the project management, it is basically the application of knowledge, skills, tools, and techniques, and you apply all these things. You apply your knowledge, you apply your skills, you apply tools and techniques to achieve what you have defined in your project. Like you are going to build a 10-story building, so that is your project. Now, you will apply your knowledge, how you will achieve this, project, or how will you complete your project. You will apply your skill and you will apply your tools and techniques to achieve what you predefined in your project. So that is the project management. Now, knowledge you will have, skills you will have. So you need to understand the tools and techniques. Obviously, you have learned throughout your experience, throughout your college. So you have the knowledge. So skills based on the it's completely depends on individual and completely depends on how much experience you have. So skills you will have. Now you need to understand the tools and techniques by using these things, how you can manage your project. So we will understand, we'll see how the tool will help you to achieve these things. So today we are going to discuss about tools and techniques by using these things, how you can manage your project profitably. Now, what exactly mean by the projects? Okay, we need to understand these things also. We talk about project management, but I have personally met so many project manager, project engineer. They don't have a understanding what exactly they need to manage in a project. So the first thing is we need to identify the requirement. What exactly is the requirement of our client? What exactly is the requirement of our stakeholder? What we need to make? What is the output? Okay, what should be the result? So we need to understand the requirement. Second, we need to set a clear and achievable objective. Objective should be achievable, okay, and it should be a clear. Okay, now the third thing, which is the most important thing when we say how to manage a, or what we need to manage in managing in a project: triple constant. Okay, so in a project management we have a triple constant, that is your scope, that is your time, and the cost. So these are the triple constant which we need to balance. Scope is your work which you have predefined in your projects. Cost, how much cost do you require to complete your project? Time, how much time do you require to complete your project? So we have budget, we have time, we have the scope. So we need to balance all these triple constant with the fourth constant, that is the quality. Okay, we need to maintain, we need to balance the quality also, because today in this scenario the customer main focus always will be on the quality. Okay, whoever will deliver a quality product or quality services, the customer will go to that company or that manufacturer only. So we need to balance this triple constant with the maintenance of the quality also. So that is the called as the managing a project. Now, why in today's scenario the scope and the opportunity of the project management increasing day by day? If we say project management, or if we say the projects, even after 50, 500 back, 500 years back, or thousands of years back, at that time also we were doing a project. At that time also we were building a, we were making a buildings. Okay, Taj Mahal, Great Wall of China, the other monument. There are so many monuments which has built hundreds of years back, and they're successful project. But why do we require a project management nowadays? What is the reason the scope and the opportunities are increasing and day and day by? So I come up with the solution or reason that is called as the 3C, which create a huge opportunity when we say the project management. So what are the 3C? Is the first is the competition. Okay, now you take any field. Okay, the competition is increasing day by day. You name it, any product, mobile phone, you can see, if we say 20 years back, at that time we were having only Samsung or Nokia, but now we have hundreds of brands which are manufacturing the mobile phones. Similarly, you can name it, the builders. There are hundreds of builders who are making a building. You name it, car, okay, automobile. There are hundreds of vendor or hundreds of maker who are manufacturing the cars. So competition is increasing day by day, and because of that, the scope in the opportunity in the project management increasing. The second one, the customization. Okay, now even every customer, again, in every field, in every area, every customer want customized product according to themselves. Just imagine when you bought the your mobile phone, or when you last time purchased your laptop. How did you purchase that? Okay, when I purchased my laptop or mobile phone, I first shortlisted. Okay, I much I need this much of RAM, I need this much of camera quality, I need this much of space, I need this much of processor. So first I shortlisted, I customized according to my requirement, and then I'll go for the brand which will suit according to the my requirements. So customization of the product and the services are increasing day by day. Every customer want their own customized product, and because of that, again the scope and the opportunity is increasing day by day. The complexity, again, because of the competition, because of the customization, the complexity of the project is increasing day by day. You can take an example. Okay, now the mobile phone, every 6 months the company is coming up with a new model. Why? Because of all this competition, the customization, the product life of the product life is too short nowadays. Because of that, the complexity of the project is increasing, and because of that, the scope and the opportunity is increasing day by day. Am I clear, guys? Please type your answer clear. Okay, now. Okay, so now I've come up with a figure that in the whole world we are spending around $15 trillion on a project. Okay, whether it's any project, so we are spending $15 trillion. Just imagine the amount of the money which we are spending on a project every year, and each year it's increasing by 5 billion to 7.5 billion. So just imagine. Okay, so this is one of the reason, like because we are spending so much amount of money in the project. Okay, so the scope is also increasing. But why do we require the project management? That is also the answer in this line. The 15 trillion spent on a project every year. So just imagine. Okay, if you are not using proper project management, so just imagine that 10% of the money is wasting. Okay, the actual data is something else. It's beyond 50%. Okay, but I'm just taking an example of the 10%. So let's say if we are not implementing, or if we are not using the project management in a proper way, and 10% of the money goes wasted. Okay, so just imagine what is the amount of the 10% of 15 trillion. Okay, so just imagine this much amount of the money we are wasting because we are not implementing, or we are not using the project management. So the actual data is far beyond 10%. The actual data is around 59% of the project are running above the budget, or they are behind the schedule. So just imagine 59% of the amount. Okay, so this huge money we are wasting because we are not using the project management. So that's what the company nowadays, the company are coming up with a solution where they required a project managers, and they want to implement the project management. Now we will go to the topic called, like, how we can do this. Okay, how to manage the project. Okay, so as I said, so there are basically three applications. Okay, knowledge, skills, tools, and techniques. So when we say the tools, there's two tools which we use in the project management is Oracle Primavera and the MS Project. So these are the two tools which 95% of the company they use to manage their project. There are other tools also, but the scope is very limited, and they are as per the field. But these are the two tools which you can use in any industry to manage your project. So today we are going to discuss about how you can manage your project by using the Oracle Primavera. Okay, so before going into the again Oracle Primavera, I just want to explain you these things. What is called as the project life cycle. Okay, project, for any product or for any project, there's a life cycle. For any project or any product has to go through this life cycle, which is having 5 phases. The first phase is your initiation, planning, execution, monitoring, controlling, and the closing. So each phase has to go through with 5 phases: initiation, planning, execution, monitoring, controlling, and closing. Now what does it mean by all these 5 phases? When we say initiate, okay, so we need to initiate the project, or we got the tender, we got the LOA, we got the work order from the client. So we have what we need to do. So in the initiation, we have defined the project, what we are going to do. Now, in the planning, we need to plan a complete roadmap. What, how we will do it, how much time do we require, how much cost is required, how many resources are required. So we plan a complete roadmap in the second phase, that is the planning. Now the execution, we start the construction at this site. Now the execution started, that is also the third phase of the this project life cycle. Now monitoring and controlling, once my execution started, my monitoring and controlling will automatically start at the same moment. When execution start, my monitoring and controlling will start. Now how it works, so basically we track, in the monitoring controlling, we track our execution, whether we are doing as per plan or not. Our execution is as per planning or not. If it's not as per planning, what is the deviation? Now if there is any deviation, what is the impact of the deviation on my project? Now the impact in the terms of cost, in the terms of time. Okay, now the other things, because of this impact, what would be the forecast value of my project? So all these things we will do in the monitoring and controlling. The fifth phase is the closing, where we will close our project. We'll with the finding out so many reports, templates, and we will do so many documentation. So these are the five phases of the project life cycle. And why I'm explaining you these things, because we use software, we use tools to manage four phases out of five phases. We do planning on the software, we will do execution on the software, we will do monitoring controlling on the software, and we will find out the reports through the software. So out of these five phases, we will work on four phases through this software. Clear? Guys, clear? Great. Okay. Now, so what are the invisible factor, okay, which we are going to see, by which we can use, we can do the clear project management, we can do successful project management. Okay, what are the invisible factor in your Oracle Primavera that we are going to see? So first thing I just want to explain you, Oracle Primavera is called as Oracle Primavera P6 Enterprise Portfolio Management Solution. Okay, it is robust and easy to use integrated solution to basically prioritize our work. It will help you to plan our work. It will help you to manage our work. It will help you to execute project portfolio and the programs. Now, there's three terms that is called as project, program, and the portfolio. Project, I have already explained you what is called as the project. Now, guys, any idea what is called as the program and what is called as the portfolio? Any idea, guys? If you know about, okay, let's discuss about the program first. So do you have any idea what is called as the program? Please type your answer in the chat box. What is called as the program? And what is called as the portfolio? What is portfolio? Okay, I'll explain you. Okay, so project is a single project, which is a set of activity. Program is basically called as the a group of similar project. Okay, which will having a similar project, that is called as the program. The portfolio is a group of similar or unsimilar project and the portfolio. That is uh, group of similar project and the similar or unsimilar project and the program, that is called as the portfolio. I'll give you an example. So we have a Tata group. Okay, so we have a Tata group. Under the Tata group, we have Tata Automobile, Tata Construction, Tata Power, Tata Communication, Tata IT, Tata this FMCG product. Okay, under all each verticals like Tata Automobiles, we have a project related to automobiles only. So this Tata Automobile, Tata Construction, Tata Power, Tata Steel are basically program, because it is having the same kind of project related to same field. Automobile related to automobile, construction related to construction, IT related, all the project related to IT. So these are the programs, and Tata Group is basically the overall portfolio, because it's having a similar and the unsimilar program and the uh, projects. So why we call as Primavera is the EPPM solution, because Primavera has the capability to manage your portfolio, not only the projects, but Primavera is having a capability to manage your complete portfolio in a company. So that is why it is called as Primavera is P6 EPPM solution. Okay. Now, what are the component of the Primavera? So Primavera having these five component. First is P6 client version. It is a basically standalone version. Web mode, which is based on the server. Okay, it is installed on your server, and it is basically the advanced part of your Primavera, which will having a many other features also apart from client. Now Oracle BI. So the Oracle BI is basically is useful for the graphical reports. I'll explain you at the end of the PPT. Okay, so Oracle BI is a business intelligence. It's basically helpful to generate the graphical reports. Mobile application is basically you can integrate your software with the mobile, and you can do whatever you want in your mobile phone also. Progress Reporter is basically the another add-on application which basically help to link the site activity or the office activity, or basically it basically integrate or it basically help to automatically update what happening at the site to the software. I'll explain you in the end of the session. Okay. Now the features is we can create a project, we can do scheduling, we can do resource management, we can do tracking, we can do risk management, we can find out the reporting. So, and security wise, this is one of the best software in the industry. So these are the some features of the Primavera. Now I'm going to explain you one by one topic, how you can plan, how you can execute, how you can monitoring, controlling, and how you can close. So I'm going to explain you that we need to perform in this software. Okay. So first topic is we need to create the EPS. Okay, EPS is called as Enterprise Project Structure. So the first step when we use the software, so this is the screenshot of the software also. So first thing, we create the EPS, or you can say you can define the EPS into portfolio and the program. So first we create the portfolio or the program. So here you will be able to see, so this initiation, it is basically a portfolio. Under this initiation, we have engineering construction, we have energy services, we have manufacturing, we have product development, we have corporate programs. So these are the programs. So under the initiation, we have division wise programs, and under program we have under each program we have projects. So first thing, we need to define the complete EPS of the company. What are the portfolio, what is the program, and what are the projects. So this is basically we need to define. Okay. The second thing is we need to define a calendar. Okay. So guys, can you tell me what is the use of calendar in the project management? Why do we require a calendar? Any idea? Why do we require a calendar in the project management? Okay. Yes. To calculate basically working hour, to find to set a working hours of a per day, because for each project, even for each activity, the working hours could be different. Okay. So we need to, so let's say a construction project. So our site is working in Jammu Kashmir, and our head office is in Delhi. Okay. So the working hours in the Jammu Kashmir is different with the working hours in the Delhi. So there in the project, there's some activity which is happening at this site, and there's some activity which is happening at the office, like your procurement, your designing. So for each activity, for each project, the working hours could be different. Some might be working 24 into 7, some might be working 12 hours per day, some might be working 9 hours per day. So we need to define a calendar where we need to define the working hours of each day with all the exception means we need to define all the holidays also. Okay, so the second step is we need to set a calendar. Now after set a calendar, once you define the project, we assign the calendar to our project. After that, we need to define the WBS, which is called as work breakdown structure. we basically divide our project into the WBS. Okay, because we need to find out, we need to plan how we are going to do, how much time and how much cost is required. So we need to divide our project into the WBS. So there are two kind of approach we use when we plan our project. First is top to bottom approach. The second is to bottom to top approach. Now we are defining now three parameters, three triple constant. Again, I'm talking about the scope, time, and the cost. For scope, we use top to bottom approach. First, we define portfolio, then we define program, then we define the project. Now we divide our project into the WBS. So this is the top to bottom approach. We are doing this. Now in the WBS, okay, we divide our project. Like this is the construction project which we have divided into construction. Then under the construction, we have divided temporary fire station, then quota cable. So area wise, you can divide also, all, or you can divide like first is design department, then procurement, then construction. Then under the construction, you can define like foundation, then probably your MEP work, then electrical work, then painting work. So you can even substructure work, superstructure work, then finishing work. Under the finishing, you can again define plaster work, MEP work, painting work, miscellaneous work. So you can divide our project as much as you can divide into the WBS. Okay. Now, once you define the WBS, we need to do the scheduling. Now, before scheduling, there's several steps. Again, we need to divide the WBS into the activity. Now, activity is basically smallest level of the project. So once you define the activity, you have defined the scope. So we need to define like this in this screenshot. Okay, in this screenshot, you have seen. So we have a project called Nespert Building Expansion Project. Okay, so this is your project. Under that, we have WBS called as Design and Engineering, and here we have defined all the activity which is related to design and engineering. So this is how we need to define our project. So once we define the activity, we have defined the scope. Now we need to now out of three parameter, first parameter we have defined. Now we have to define other two parameter, time and cost. For time and cost, we use second type of approach, that is called as bottom to top approach. That means we'll go bottom to top. Okay. Now we have defined the activity. We will keep the duration of each activity only. Okay, because we need to find out how much total time is required to complete our project. But we cannot, as the project manager, I cannot calculate a exact number of days required to complete a project. But I can be sure that for one activity, this is the time which is required. Suppose I want to paint a wall, so I can say I need probably 2 days time to paint a wall. Let's say excavation, 100 meters of the excavation with 2 feet depth. Okay, so we can define, okay, probably I'll take 5 days time, depend on the resources, I'll take 5 days time to for the excavation. For foundation, I require this much of time. So for each activity, I can find out, I can predict a time. So we define all the duration to the activity. Now after that, we define the relationship to the activity. Okay, so activity relationship is basically, there are four types of relationship. I cannot go into detail. So these are the four types of relationship: finish to start, start to finish, and start to start, which we give to the activity. Okay, what are the relationship between the activities? So if you are able to see this arrow, so these are the relationship between among the activities. So we need to define the relationship. After the relationship, we need to do the scheduling. Now, what does mean by the scheduling, which is most important? So how many of you heard about the CPM? Please type your answer if you have heard, if you know about the CPM. What CPM? If you have heard about CPM method. Have you heard about CPM? What is CPM? Yeah, so CPM, so any planning software, okay, you name it, any planning software, they use CPM method for the scheduling. Okay, it's critical path method. They use critical path method to find out the scheduling. Now, once we've done the scheduling, we got the 5 parameters. First parameter is we got the total duration of the project. Since we have given the duration only to the activity, and based on the activity duration, based on the relationship, software will give us what is the total number of what is the total duration of your WBS, and what is the total duration. So this is the 81 days required to complete design and 520 days required to complete the project. So this is the total number of duration of the project. The second parameter which we'll get is the start date and the finish date of each activity of the and each WBS. So this is the start date, this is the finish date. This is the project started, this is the project finish date. This is the activity started and this is the activity finished date. So we get the total we get the start date and finish date of each activity. The third parameter is we get the critical path. What is the longest path in the in the project? We get the critical path. The fourth parameter is we get the what are the critical tasks, what are the non-critical tasks. Okay, critical task which is most important task, and our focus should always be on the critical task. So the software will give us what are the critical tasks and what are the non-critical tasks. Non-critical tasks will have some buffer time, and that buffer time is shown in the terms of float. So fifth parameter, we will get the total float and the free float through this scheduling. So once we're done with this scheduling, we have what is the total duration required to complete our project. Okay, and other 5 parameters we will get after the scheduling. So now we have defined the time also. Okay, now we need to define the cost, which is the third parameter. For cost, we use the resource, we do the resource management. Okay, now how many type of resource you are using in the in your project? Can you answer me? How many types of resources you are using, or how many type of resources we have in the project management? So basically, we use 4 types of resources in the project management. Okay, that is called as 4M: man, machine, material, and the money. Okay, so we use man, we use machine, we use material, and we use money in the project. Money is basically when we say construction project, in this site we have some extra expense also. We have site expense, we have traveling expense, we have administration expense, and some other costs also. So that is comes under the money. So we have 4 types of resources that we use in the project management. So in the resource management, we define 2 things: who's going to execute my project and how much cost is required. So there are 4 steps. First, we need to define the resources. We need to define each and every resources which is required to complete a project, and the quantity and the price of each resources. So here you can see, so resource name, now resource type. So in the parameter we have category of labor that defined as the manpower. So all your manpower comes under labor. Your labor's supervisor, your engineer, your site engineer, planning, your carpenter, your vendor, your mechanical engineer, planning engineer, your project manager, all comes under the labor category. Non-labor, all your machinery comes under the non-labor category, and the material comes under material category. And for money, there is a separate resources that is called as the expense in the Primavera software. Now, so we need to define the resources. How many resources do I require to complete my project, and the quantity also I will define, and the price also. So let's say labor, so which is like 500 Indian rupees per day. Okay, so you can define, and the material cost and the machinery cost, each cost you can define in the first step, that is called as define the resources. Now second step is we need to assign the resources to my activity. For excavation, so let's say excavation, for excavation probably I require one backhoe loader machine, I require site supervisor, I require labor. Okay, so these are the resources. But let's say for paint we need to do painting, I need paint, I need brush, I need other instrument, I need a painter. So for each activity, how many resources do you require? That is basically called as assignment. So we need to define, we need to assign. Here you can see, you need to assign our resources. For this foundation wall, concrete foundation wall, I require an iron worker, I require labor, I require a rough carpenter. So all, to all activity, you need to define the amount and the number of resources which is required to complete your project. Now, so this is how you can see. So this is you can do the manual bucket planning. So there's a term called bucket planning. where you can manually assign to your resources to a task on a per day basis, even per hour basis. So here you can see, guys, I'm audible. There's one message that I'm not audible clearly. My voice is clear, guys. Okay. So here you can see, so on this sheet, so this is resource assignment sheet. Uh, on resource assignment sheet, Mr. Krishna, can you please check your volume? It might be low. Yeah. On this resource assignment sheet, okay, we will do the bucket planning. Bucket planning is, so this is, let's say this is excavate, or I would say this is iron worker. This is the resource, and this is the activity. Okay, here I can define on each day how many number of hours I require the iron worker. So this is 8 hours. So probably on Thursday, on this activity on concrete foundation wall, I require iron workers for 8 hours. If you require for 1 hour, you can define 1 hour also. If you require half an hour, you can put half an hour also. Also, you can stretch for a hourly basis also. Okay, probably you said, okay, I need 11 to 2 only, 11 to 12 only. So that also you can define. So in the resource assignment sheet, manually you can do all complete your bucket planning. How many resources do you require on each day? Okay. Now, so once you're done with the resource assignment, you will do the resource analysis. Now, resource analysis is we analyze our resources whether they're using 100% or not. Basically, in analysis, we do the optimization of our resources, or we try to improve the performance of our resources. Okay, so we need to, as the project manager, I need to make sure that I'll use my 100% resources. And in the analysis, I got the two parameters: optimization, over allocation, and the under allocation. Over allocation, that means I have, on some day I have less resources, but I required more number of resources. Suppose on Friday, okay, so let's say on Friday I may require five labor, but throughout my project in the defined resources, the first step I have defined, I need only three labor. So but on one day I required five labor, so that is the over allocation. So software will give you the complete analysis based on your assignment. So where is the over allocation, where is the under allocation? Under allocation, you said you ask your management that give me 100 labor on your project, and you're using only 80 labor throughout your project. Okay, so 20 labor. So management will ask you, okay, why you ask 100 labor? So you need to be justified. You need to make sure that you are using 100% of your resources. So that is the under allocation. So in the analysis, you will get the over allocation and the under allocation report. And after this, the fourth step is resource leveling, where you will level your resources. You will remove under allocation and the over allocation. There are several steps in the leveling also, and we can do automatic and the manual leveling also. So I'm not going into the resource leveling as of now because it will take time. Now, after the complete resource management, we have the complete cost estimation also. So here you can see we have complete project total budget cost, we have total expense cost, we have labor cost, we have material cost. So once we're done with the resource management, we have total cost estimated total cost which is required to complete our project. Now once you're done with the cost estimation, your planning, the second phase of your project life cycle is done. You plan according to your scope. You have defined your scope, you have defined your time, you have defined your cost, what is the how much cost is required. So your planning is completed. Now I'll move to the third phase, that is the execution. Okay, now when we say execution, whatever happening at this site in a real time scenario also, if you're planning on Excel or any other tools, if you're using, what you are doing is you're getting the DPR, daily progress report, from this site, and you are updating on your Excel sheet, like what happened, what actually happening at the site, how much time take. So similarly, same thing you need to do in the software also. You need to take a DPR, daily progress report through the site, and you need to put what is the actual data in your project. So this is in the here in this status you need to put when the activity started, the actual data, what is the actual start date, actual finish date, actual duration of your software. Then this, and in the terms of labor also, how many labor have you have used, 5 labor, 10 labor, in the actual how many labor you have used. So you need to put all the actual data into the software, and the software will give you percentage of work. Okay, this work has been completed, and this is the pending work, this is the total percentage completion of your project. So here if this all the green all the blue line, okay, so this is, that means till now you have completed your project. Okay, so here you can see duration, percentage of work also. Now in this software we have three types of percentage of work: duration percentage, unit percentage, and the physical percentage. So like duration percentage, that means this project has completed 100%. Now you can see what was the actual duration. The actual duration was 36 days, actual duration was 100 days. That means it took almost 64 days time extra to complete your project, but it is now 100%. Now because of this 64 days delay on this activity, what will be the impact on the next activity, what will be the impact on the project finish date, what will be the impact on the cost, each and everything software will give you. But the only thing you need to do analysis. Okay, you need to analyze. The software will give you in terms of dates, in the terms of graph also. So here this graph, you'll be able to see in this graph what will be the impact on my project and what will be the impact on my next upcoming activity because of the delay in the activity. That you need to do complete forecasting. The software will give you each and every data, but just you need to analyze what exactly you need to understand the parameters. You need to understand the concept, and you can prepare a report on the delay for these things. So this is the delay analysis you basically we do. Now once you are done with all these things, okay, we need to do this risk management. Okay, so when we say the risk, so always there are two type of risk. Okay, positive risk, negative risk. Okay, so we prepare a list of risks. What are the risks that can come up in my upcoming schedule, or what are the risks which is already which already I have had. So this is the risk. So this is the list where I prepare a list. Okay, the first is resource availability. On which project there is a risk? What is the status of the risk? Who is the owner of this risk? Type of risk, schedule. What would be the impact on this schedule? So which is having the five category. So basically low, medium, high, very high. Okay. Now, okay, because of the resource availability, it will impact my schedule very high. Cost, cost wise, it will impact medium. Okay. Now what is the probability of occurring of that risk? Okay, so it's high. Okay, so that also you can define on based on all these three parameters. The software will give you the score on your risk, and based on the risk score you can prioritize your risk. So this is 72, okay, which is the highest. So you will prioritize first. I'll solve that particular risk which is having the higher risk. So you prepare a risk, then you analyze which risk is important, and then you will assign a manager or a person who's going to solve that particular risk, and you will do complete risk planning also. So this is the risk management that you can do in the software. Clear, guys? Clear? Okay, now reports. Okay, once we're done with the monitoring controlling, we need to come up with the fifth parameter, that is the reports, or that is the closing, where we will find out so many reports. In the software there are hundreds of predefined templates by which you can find out your reports. But there's a drawback, or I would say this is a very smart move of the Oracle, that this Primavera software is basically having only the tabular reports. Okay, it's not having the graphical reports. And to find out the graphical reports, there's a few way. Either we can use the third application, that is the Oracle BI, or there are other way also to get the graphical reports. But in the software, there's an inbuilt, it's having only the tabular the graphical reports. Like this is the earned value reports. This is how the software will give you the reports about the project. What is all the parameter BCWDS, BCWP, ACWP, BAC, ETC, AC, and BC. What are the values? So this kind of report the software will give you, which is predefined. You don't need to do anything. You just need to click on a report, and you need to run that report, and the software will give you the complete report. And you can customize the report also. Like you want to put your company logo, project name, all these things you can do. That you can put into the reports. Okay, but graphical reports we need to use some other way. Okay, now security wise, I want to discuss with one feature that security wise this is the most powerful software. Like we can create a user ID if you're using in your company, if you're using a multi-user access, you can create a user ID and password. Like you can create a profile basically like we are creating on Facebook and Gmail based on the hierarchy. So let's say I'm a project manager, I can see everything related to one project. Okay, suppose you are the general manager where you can see the reports of each and every project. So what I can do, I can create a user ID and I can assign the task which I can access. Okay, if I can access only resources, I'll be able to access only resources. All the other thing will get hide. So for security wise, so it's very powerful software. We can use user profile. We can create a user profile based on the hierarchy and based on the responsibility in a company, and they can access only that particular area only. So this is very useful. Now the as of now which we have discussed is about overall Primavera. Now this is the server based Primavera, which is the second module, second component which I've told you, Primavera web mode, which is a server based application. It is having some advanced features apart from all the feature that is available in the client. The advanced feature is dashboard. So dashboard is basically a feature where we will create a single window which will having all the information. Like in our car, okay, we have the dashboard where we can see a speedometer, the petrol, the timer, the speed, the RPM, every information we can see through a single screen. Similarly, in this software, we will have a single screen where we will have all the information about our project and the portfolio in the graphical form. Okay, so this is the dashboard which we can create, and we can analyze so many data through this option. Okay, this is the another way. So this is the dashboard report of all my construction projects. So here you can see up to date, like till today, this is what I have done, and this is the forecast value. Okay, schedule wise, labor unit wise. Okay, so you have hundreds of parameters, you have thousands of data which software will give you. The only thing you need to understand the concept, and you need to find out the way of using all these tools. Okay, so here you can see you can prepare a like CO dashboard which you want to showcase to your CO. Like this is our project data, so you can prepare a dashboard with the name of CO dashboard where automatically all the data will automatically get updated, and you can just show to your managing director CO. So this is the application. This is the most advanced feature of the Primavera. Now, what if analysis, portfolio what if analysis, you can create a what if scenario, and based on that, software will give you like if this happened, this would be the result. If this happened, this would be the result. So we can do the what if analysis through this software also. Now, this is the mobile application. It is available for Android and iPhone, where I can integrate my Primavera into my mobile, and I can update, I can put any comment, I can see all the progress through my mobile phones also. Okay, so which is very useful for a person like project manager or general manager, because they just want to they want the updates on their projects only. So it's very useful for them. Now, this is the BI publisher which I've discussed with you, Oracle BI, Oracle Business Intelligence, which is the another application of Oracle, and we use this application to link with our software, and which will help us to generate all the graphical reports. So this is the this kind of graphical reports we can generate through this application, which we can buy. Okay. Now, so this is how you can plan, how you can execute, how you can monitor and control, and how you can close your project by using the Oracle Primavera. Okay. Now, what is the market value of the Oracle Primavera? Okay. So like out of 600 engineering and construction firm, 575 company they use Primavera software for their project planning and management. Out of 20 power company, 17 company they use Primavera. Out of 10 oil company, 9 they use Primavera. Out of 10 Indian leading contractor, 8 they use Primavera. Out of 10 aerospace defense company, 9 they use Primavera to manage their software. And how Primavera help in the industry wise. Okay, it basically, when we say construction firm and the engineering firm, it will help us to improve the collaboration and the coordination with among the teams. You know, when we say the construction, there are so many vendors. You have MEP vendor, you have painter, you have carpenter, you have electrical vendor, you have so many vendors which working simultaneously on my project. And if there is any delay, each vendor try to put a blame on each other. But when we use this software, it will help us to improve the coordination and the collaboration between all these vendors, and ultimately it avoid the project against claims. In the aerospace, defense, and the public sector, again, because there's so many supplier and vendor in this field, so it will help us to manage all this vendor and supplier. It will help us to improve the accountability and meet the regularity requirement, because when we say public sector, we need to put all the data into the public website, or we need to update to the minister. So it will help us to improve, or it will help us to generate a regular reports which is required to to submit to the minister to the on their public domain. Now, in the oil gas, when we say the oil gas, since oil gas is kind of the operation, but every 6 months in the oil gas industry, there will be a maintenance time period where they need to maintain, where they need to repair all the machinery, and where they need to do maintenance. So it's very limited time duration project, and the software will help us to manage this short duration, high intensity outage shutdown project. When we say manufacturing, it will help us to complete or to manage your supply chain management, because again there are so many vendors are involved, so it will help us to manage the supply chain. When you say manufacturing, supply chain is basically the backbone of the manufacturing. If there's a delay in the supply chain, all your operation will get delayed. So it will help us to completely manage your supply chain management. When we say IT services, it will help you in the resource management, because if the IT company, hundreds of projects are running simultaneously, and hundreds of resources are using, like you can say example of TCS, Infosys, the thousands of workers are working on a project. So it will help us to optimize the resources. When we say Indian market, how it will help us to get the job, or to learn what is the use of to learn this software. In the Indian market, it is already implemented out of India, but now in India, the government are putting mandatory condition that if you want to do any project, they have to use Primavera. So this is the CPWD manual. Any project related to CPWD, guys, my voice is coming. I'm audible. Uh, Juhi, you need to check from your side. I'm clear to others team member. Please check from your side. Okay, so now in the Indian government are putting mandatory condition if your project cost, like if you're working in a contractor, or if you're working as the contractor, if you want to work as the contractor, and if the project cost is 5 to 20 cr, you have to submit your schedule on MS project. If the cost is 20 cr, you have to submit your schedule on the Primavera. And when we say the construction project, 20 cr is nothing. The cost is normally in hundreds of crore. So now the government is trying, even apart from CPWD, NHI is also, we are working with the NHI, and NHI also put mandatory condition to use this software. So the Indian government try to put mandatory condition. So if you want to work in any private company in India, they have to use Primavera. This is the mandatory condition now government are putting. So the CPWD has already put this. That's what I want to show. Now, when we say industrial application, it's not limited to any industry. You can use in IT, software company, you can use manufacturing, you can use in engineering, construction, defense, engineering, procurement, health, aerospace, marine, oil, gas, power sector, telecommunication. So it's not limited to any industry. If you belong to any industry, if you're involved in a project, the application, the software is useful, and it will help you to manage your project. I have a friend, uh, it's not friend, basically it's a client. He's a wedding planner and he's trying to implement Primavera in his wedding planning. So uh, he's do wedding, which is cost is above 5 cr. So he is trying to implement Primavera, like how he can manage so many tasks in the wedding planning. So it's not limited to any industry. You can use this software to, if you're working in any industry. Now, if you're waiting for a job, so these are some titles. Like you can work as a project coordinator, scheduler, in planning engineer, PMO consultant, support engineers, project lead, project manager. So these are some titles, job which is waiting for you. So, if I conclude about this Oracle Primavera software, it will help us to use our project resource effectively. It will help us to track what project team are focusing on. It will help us to prioritize our effort. It will help us to collaborate in other with the other application. You can collaborate Primavera with SAP, with other HR application, with so many application, third-party application. You can collaborate. It will help us to manage project with the overall business strategy. It will help us to review and prioritize project. It will help us to find out the consolidate reports. It will help us to manage projects profitably. So this is about the today's topic about the project management, how you can manage your project by using the Oracle Primavera. I have discussed about 4 phases. You can do planning, you can do execution, you can do monitoring, controlling, and you can do closing by using this software. And the ultimate, again, if I summarize in a one shot, by using Primavera, you can save your time and effort. And if you save time and effort, it ultimately save your money. So that's what every company now trying to implement Primavera to manage their software. Okay, so this is about the seminar.